The perfection we lost before pain ever touched the human heart, before tears ever wet human skin, before fear ever breathed its cold breath into the world. There was Eden, a garden not grown by human hands, but crafted by God's imagination, a place where peace wasn't something you prayed for. It was the air you breathed, where identity wasn't something you struggled with. It was your natural state, where the presence of God wasn't something you searched for, it walked beside you. Adam didn't learn God's voice, he lived in it. Every morning, light touched the leaves with colors the world no longer remembers. Every evening, the wind carried melodies creation has long forgotten. And in the center of this perfect world, God placed two humans, Adam, Eve, made in his image, carriers of eternal purpose, kings and queens of creation. They lacked nothing, desired nothing, feared nothing, hid from nothing, except one thing, one tree, one boundary, one command, not to imprison them, but to protect them. How the enemy gets in, Satan didn't come as a monster. He didn't arrive with darkness dripping from his wings. He didn't roar or threaten. He came quietly, softly, reasonably. The serpent didn't tempt Eve with rebellion. He tempted her with curiosity, not disobey God. But did God really say? Doubt is the oldest weapon ever formed. Eve looked at the fruit. It didn't look evil. It didn't look dangerous. It didn't look like something that could collapse creation. That's how sin always starts, looking harmless. Then she reached out, touched it, and bit. But the world didn't fall apart when she sinned. The moment that changed everything came next. The moment that still haunts humanity. Eve turned and extended her hand. The fruit didn't destroy humanity. Her deception didn't destroy humanity. It was Adam's decision that collapsed the world. The Bible says Adam was not deceived. He knew what he was doing. He knew the command. He heard it from the mouth of God himself. In that split second, Adam stood at a crossroads. Obey God, or obey someone he loved. Stay loyal to the Creator, or surrender to the creation. Follow truth, or follow emotion. He looked at Eve, the one God gave him, the one he loved, the one he didn't want to lose. And Adam chose her voice over God's voice. He lifted the fruit, took a breath, and bit into the downfall of the human race. The universe seemed to gasp. Creation trembled, purity shattered, light dimmed. The ground itself felt the weight of betrayal, and for the first time in history, the human heart broke. The horror of realization. Suddenly, Adam and Eve felt something they had never felt before: shame. They saw themselves differently, felt each other differently. Even God felt different. They hid. The crown bearers of creation hid like scared children. When God walked into the garden and asked, "Adam, where are you?" He wasn't asking about location. He was asking about identity. Adam, where did you go? Who did you become? What did you surrender? Adam blamed Eve. Eve blamed the serpent. But the truth remained. Humanity fell because a man who knew God chose to obey someone who didn't. The part no one wants to talk about, people think the fall was about fruit. It was never about fruit. It was about influence, authority, obedience, hierarchy. Who has the final say in your life? The voice of someone you love? The voice of culture? The voice of your emotions? Or the voice of God? The enemy didn't need to stop Adam. He only needed to influence Eve, because he knew Adam trusted her more than God. This is the uncomfortable truth. You can lose everything by listening to the wrong person. One wrong voice can override God's instruction if your heart is not anchored in obedience. But here is the beautiful twist. The story didn't end in the garden, where one man's disobedience destroyed humanity. One man's obedience, Jesus, rebuilt the bridge. Adam fell in a garden. Jesus surrendered in a garden. Adam hid from God. Jesus brought God to us. Adam handed humanity death. Jesus handed humanity life. Adam closed the door. Jesus tore it open. Grace walked into the same world sin destroyed and whispered, "I can restore everything Adam broke." The check your heart moment. Before this story ends, here's the part that hits your soul. Every day we stand where Adam stood. Every day we choose God's voice or another voice, obedience or emotion, truth or desire. Adam's fall wasn't just a story, it's a mirror. Because the enemy still whispers, "Did God really say?" And God still asks, "Where are you?" Not your body, not your location, your heart. Where are you